Hello everyone, welcome back to Contented Living. This is where we enjoy everyday things and see life through grateful eyes. Today, we are starting a One Pot Wonder series. We're going to be making taco soup. Everything goes in one pot, simple, easy peasy cooking. If you want to get dinner on the table in a hurry and you want something fulfilling with lots of flavor, this is a very good recipe that I like to use for our family. So let's get started. So for our ingredients, we're going to have a pound of ground beef, a cup and a half of water, 3/4 cup whipping cream. I have a 14.5 ounce can of whole tomatoes that I have cut. I like those pretty chunky in the soup. I have a poblano pepper, chopped. I have a cup of cheddar cheese, shredded. I have half a cup of chopped onion. I just use red onion today. Whatever onion you have in the house is fine. 2 teaspoons of garlic. I do not like chopping garlic. An 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, 6 ounces tomato paste. I have an 8-ounce block of cream cheese. We're probably not going to end up using all of that, but we're going to start with the whole thing just in case. I have a package of taco seasoning. Looks like that's an ounce. We like the Taco Bell brand, so that's what I bought. And that's it. It's time to go to the stove and let's get cooking. All right, now I've already got a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, heating up in my pan. I have kind of a medium-sized cast iron pot here. I'm going to put a pound of ground beef in. It's in. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. It's a handy dandy little tool my mom gave me that breaks up the meat. And it works. Stuff is angry. Medium heat. We're just going to break it up. If you've had a stressful day at work, this helps get a little bit out too. Save on a gym membership. All right. We're going to let that set for a minute before we torture it some more. All right, let's put some more goodies in here. The meat is still cooking. It's not fully cooked, but I don't want to overcook my beef. So I give it a little chance to get started, and now I'm going to start adding some other things that are going to need to cook down just a little bit before we start adding a lot of our other ingredients. So let's put in our 2 teaspoons of garlic. I learned early in my cooking days that I did not like chopping garlic. I tried a tool for it, and no matter what I did, my hands just smelled like garlic, which I love it in my food. I don't love it on my hands. So I buy minced garlic now. It's always in the house, and it's easy peasy. You just scoop out what you need and go, and your hands smell great. Now we're going to do a half a cup of onion. I say finely chopped. That to me is what's finely chopped. And then we're going to do a poblano pepper. I don't know if you've ever had poblano peppers. They are delicious. Little more heat than a bell pepper, but and they're not always super easy to find in the grocery store. So a little tip I have found that works for me is when I do find them, sometimes I will buy them in a package that has multiples in it and use whatever I need for what I'm cooking at the moment. And then I go ahead and cut off the tops, take the seeds out, half everything, and then I freeze them so that whenever I randomly decide I want to cook something with a poblano pepper, I've got one in the freezer ready and it didn't just sit on the counter and rot. Ooh, this smells good. So we're just going to let that finish cooking. Let the onions cook. We're going to get the big spoon out now. Let the meat finish cooking. We're done with our handy dandy tool. I am going to throw in a little salt and pepper at this point. A little bit on the counter there. And I'm cautious of the amount that I put in at this point because all of my ingredients aren't in there yet. I am going to be throwing in some cream cheese and regular cheese, and that might affect I don't want it to be too salty. Pieces didn't get de-chunked. All right. That's looking pretty good. Normally at this point, I would grab a couple of paper towels and take care of some of the grease, but this actually looks really good. I don't think I'm going to need to do that this time. So we are ready to put in some more ingredients. Okay. We're going to put in our taco seasoning. It doesn't call for a whole packet. I think I put a whole packet in it. We're going to throw in most of it and then taste it. I think I may have to add the rest though. Ooh, that smells so good. It's like taco in a pot. Okay. Gonna let that cook for a minute. Now, let's put some liquid in there. We're gonna add our 1.5 cups of water. ¾ cup whipping cream. A lot of recipes I have seen say don't put the cream in until the end, and I'm sure there's a reason for that, but I am a big taster and I need to taste things as it's cooking, so I don't wait that long to put my cream in, and my recipes always turn out fine, so it doesn't seem to affect the quality of what I'm cooking by putting it in sooner. Because once I put a few more things in, we're going to start the whole testing phase. My recipe for me is just a starting point. I have made things often enough that I've realized if you don't taste it before it hits the table, you could be disappointed. So I have saved many a meal by tasting as I'm cooking and then figuring out what does it need. So I'm going to put the link to the recipe in the description, and then whatever it is that ends up being the final quantities of what I put in, because I may have to add to what I already have, I'll make sure I put those in the description as well so you know what did I add to it to make it what it is. All right, let's do 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. This is where I deviate from the recipe. It only calls for the tomato sauce. I like a lot of tomato flavor. It's really not very rich without it. Without more to it. So that's where the tomato paste comes in. This has really been my friend. I have realized different recipes, if it calls for tomato sauce, that's my cue now to know you might need some tomato paste with it to get it where I like it. And in this recipe, that is true. So we're going to put the whole 6-ounce can tomato paste. And now comes the fun part, breaking it up. You just have to be patient with this, which I'm not the best at. But let it get in there and get integrated with the other ingredients. And then we'll taste. Oh, we got one more thing to put in with tomatoes. Hang on. Our whole tomatoes that we chopped. I like chunky tomatoes. We're going to put that in too. I didn't drain them. More tomato. It's in tomato juice. So let's add some flavor. I don't know if you've noticed the bowls I've used today. I don't match a lot of my dishes. It's just not me. This bowl is very special. This is my great grandmother's bowl. So I'm pretty excited to use it in the video today. All right, now I have to try to be very careful because I'm a little messy, as you may be figuring out. And this is the part where I get ready to get in there and just get it done. And I'm trying not to do that because I'm fixed to make a mess on my stove if I do. But I got to get that tomato paste broken down enough so I can do a taste test. Okay, we're going to go ahead and taste. It should be fine. I haven't put the cream cheese in yet, but I'm going to go ahead and just see where we're at with the tomato. That's not bad. Okay. It doesn't have a very bold, robust flavor yet, but we're about to put the cream cheese in, which will kick it up in high gear. Okay. So here's my 8-ounce block of cream cheese. It says about 4 ounces, which is going to be about half the block. So we're going to start there, and then I got to taste and figure out if we need more. So I don't want to put the whole block in like this. I'm going to do it in little chunks so it breaks up a little quicker. I don't know what this thing is, but it came with some of my little measuring spoons, and I've just been excited to find out ways to use it. It's just a neat little tool. Works pretty good for divvying up cream cheese. All right. I think I'm going to stop right there. That's not quite half, but I want to taste it. Because if you go overboard with cream cheese, it is not fun. And I'm going to try a little whisk action here. And I'm trying to bring my mixture up to a boil. And then we are going to turn it down on low and let it simmer and kind of hang out for a little while. Okay, it's breaking up pretty good. I think it's enough now that we can taste it, see where it's at. Obviously, if you are making this for somebody that's coming over to your home or taking it out of the house or something like that, you don't want to double dip. This is just for me and my husband. I am going to double dip today. So just so you know, I know the rule. It's just us at home. That's getting better. It ain't there yet, but it's working on it. Okay. All right. It can handle a little more cream cheese. We're going to put in the full half a block. And I think it needs the rest of the taco seasoning. I'm going to finish adding it in. I thought I put the whole packet in last time. For some, that may be too much taco seasoning. I think it's just right. It does not, for me, make it too spicy. It's not a spicy heat flavor. It's just good, robust, that whole Mexican kind of flavor palette. Okay, let's give it another taste. It's good. Needs a little more salt, I think. I'm still going to be careful how much salt I'm adding because the cheese is not in there yet, and that's going to add a little bit of salt on its own. A little more pepper, just a little bit. And a little more salt. I like salt. If you ever come over to my house while I'm cooking, now you know, don't stand too close to the stove. Okay. All right, we are boiling. We're going to make sure we turn it down. It's as low as my stove will go. Let it simmer for a little bit. Taste it again. I think it needs more cream cheese. It's missing something. It's a little weak. Am I boring you? Okay, we're going to taste again. Not bad. I think it needs the cheese. I'm going to go ahead and put my cheese in. Put everything in there, and then we'll see where we are. See if it needs something else. All right, let's check on it. I did end up adding a little more whipping cream, salt, and cheese. I put a little bit more of each of those in there. So now it's been simmering here for a few minutes. Let's see what we got. Mm. That's taco soup. Okay, turn it off. Now I'm going to let it cool for just a minute, and then we're going to taste it, show you the finished product. And here we are with our finished product. It's a steaming hot pot of taco soup. Let's try it. Mm. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. That's good, folks. Now that's the point of one pot cooking. Is you throw everything in one pot, and there's your meal. But obviously, you can put other things with it if you like. You can do tortilla chips. That would be good. If you want to make a whole Mexican meal out of it, you could. But for me, just sit down and enjoy that. Mm. It is hot, but it's good. And that's contented living, folks. Just enjoy everyday things. Keep it simple. Keep it fun. Keep it delicious. Have a good day. I cannot make it cook any faster. Cook. I burned my finger. I've got to get that apron. Or at least find the one I'm missing. All right, let's check on it. Wait. We have no fire under our thing and we're coming to check on it. I gotta stop eating the cheese. Now my mouth is full. It's good cheese.